This is Mac OS Ken.
Opaque takes on iPhone demand. Apple grows a workforce in India. And dinosaurs are back in action. It is Friday, the 3rd of March, 2023. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Collide. Endpoint security powered by people. Learn more and book a demo at collide.com/macOSCan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. UBS analyst David Vogt wrote a note on January iPhone sales this week, though very little of it made sense to me. Please allow me to read you one part. On a global basis, we estimate iPhone sell-through in January was down about 11% year-over-year, 20.9 million, a 700 basis points improvement from the 18% year-on-year decline in December, 22.6 million, and down 8% month-over-month following extensive supply chain disruptions late last year. If we extrapolate January 23 sell-through, we estimate March 23 quarter sell-through is tracking at about 52 million units, in line with our sell-in estimate. There were 3 more paragraphs that were even less intelligible, so, you tell me. It was Philip Elmer DeWitt's Apple 3.0 that posted the note. I know I don't know everything, but I can usually pretty much follow notes like these. I was happy to read Elmer DeWitt's addendum, which said, "Must confess, I got lost in the details. Glad it wasn't just me." Here are 2 quotes that did make sense. iPhone strength in China and US offset by weakness in Europe. And, while China sell-through was solid, iPhone sell-through improvement in the US was more muted. He's not reaching for the parachute, though. Vogt has a buy rating on Apple shares. He has set the UBS price target on the shares at $180. A somewhat easier to understand note comes our way from Jefferies analyst Kyle McNeely. He thinks iPhone demand is better than the rest of Wall Street thinks, based on the internet. Apple 3.0 posted this one as well. It's got McNeely saying, web traffic to iPhone pages for the month of January at wireless carrier sites and Apple.com was up 2% month-over-month and down 23% month-over-month, respectively. Wireless carriers are the bigger channel, so overall it's tracking ahead of normal historical seasonality, down 30% quarter-on-quarter, and street iPhone unit expectations down 21%. That, plus the fact that people are going for the Pro phones more than the others where the current iPhone line is concerned, have him expecting a bit of strength for the March quarter. Now, I am not saying he's wrong, but hanging your hopes, your hat, or anything else on web traffic feels tenuous. But these are the times in which we live. Quoting his note again, we see page traffic tracking ahead of expectations as a positive sign that Apple isn't seeing as much macro pressure as anticipated, at least through January. Nonetheless, we're keeping our estimates unchanged given we're still early in the quarter, and any deterioration through March could derail the positivity. Shake it off, Tink. Shake it off. Mr. McNeely has a buy rating on Apple shares. He has set Jefferies' price target on the shares at $195. While the world ponders the diversification of Apple's supply chain, an interesting assertion from Apple Insider. That site cites data from the Indian technology site Inc24, saying since the start of India's production-linked incentive program in August of 2021, Apple has become the largest single job creator in the nation's electronics sector with 100,000 new positions. The site breaks it down to about 62,000 folks working for Apple contract manufacturers Foxconn, Pegatron, and Wistron. The other roughly 40,000 work for component suppliers such as Solcomp. Small numbers compared to China, to be sure. But it would be hard to argue that this train isn't picking up steam. Surprising news for a North Carolina Apple store. Bloomberg says the Cupertino company suddenly and unexpectedly closed its Northlake Mall store in Charlotte, North Carolina, permanently. The problem? A bit too much gunplay, it seems. Citing local news reports, Bloomberg says shots were fired outside of a Macy's at the Northlake Mall on Tuesday, while another shooting took place in early February. There were additional shootings reported in December and in 2021. So, not a rash decision, though a surprising one, even to employees. The store actually opened for business Wednesday morning, though employees were told that day that the store would be closing for good, effective immediately. It was apparently employees who said the shootings were the issue. Bloomberg says Apple confirmed the closure but declined to comment further on the reasoning. Now the good news. Despite the loss of a store, nobody is losing their job. The piece says Apple told employees that there will be no layoffs and that staff at the Northlake Mall site would be transferred to the nearby South Park location in Charlotte or roles working at the company's online store. Plans were already underway for a new store in Charlotte next year. Even before this week's closure, the new store was meant to replace the Northlake store, according to the report. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Collide, endpoint security powered by people. I was so impressed when I first heard about Collide, how they work to make your workplace safer by getting your workers on board with the whole security thing. Collide doesn't just tell them what they need to do, but it educates them as to why. No more IT chasing down smartphones and laptops. Collide gets your team bought in on securing your business. Now, if you're an Okta user, Collide can get your entire fleet to 100% compliance the same way. The moment Collide's agent detects a problem, it alerts the user and gives them instructions to fix it. If they don't fix the problem within a certain amount of time, they're blocked. Sounds harsh, but seriously, unsecured devices are logging into your company's apps because there's nothing there to stop them. Collide is the only device trust solution that enforces compliance as part of authentication, and it is built to work seamlessly with Okta. Collide's method means fewer support tickets, less frustration, and most importantly, 100% fleet compliance. Visit collide.com/macOSKen to learn more and book a demo. That is KOLIDE.com/macOSKen. Collide.com/macOSKen. On the heels of this week's developer betas and public testing betas, something 9to5Mac refers to as a mystery beta. According to the piece, the latest firmware beta update for Apple's Studio display is now available. Okay, not much of a mystery then. Actually, while we know what the beta is for, we don't know what it's doing or what it's meant to do. Apple doesn't give any release notes or clues to what's changed or improved with the release, according to the report. Signs of life for Apple's high-yield savings account. Apple Insider points people to a Twitter post from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman. That's got him pointing people to a change in the terms and conditions for Apple Card, and that has Apple making ready. Talk of the savings account turns up 2 places, according to Apple Insider. First, the report says, as a definition, savings means the savings account provided by us that can be accessed through Apple Wallet. The second set of occurrences can be found under the section labeled How You Receive Daily Cash. Apple Insider says that second one explains how people can choose a destination for Apple Card's daily cash, either on the Apple Cash Card or in savings. No indication in any of it on exactly when the savings will begin. Apple has announced a second season for the Dinosaur Docuseries Prehistoric Planet. And it reminds me, I still need to watch the first season of the Dinosaur Docuseries Prehistoric Planet. If you missed it, as I have so far, Apple says Prehistoric Planet combines award-winning wildlife filmmaking, the latest paleontology learnings, and state-of-the-art technology to unveil the spectacular habitats and inhabitants of ancient Earth for a one-of-a-kind immersive experience. Well, two of a kind now. The Cupertino streamer issued a press release Wednesday announcing the series' return, still executive produced by Jon Favreau and still narrated by Sir David Attenborough. The release has Apple thrilled that viewers will once again have the opportunity to be immersed in the wonders of our world as it was 66 million years ago, and to experience even more weird and wonderful creatures in Season 2. As they did for the first round, Apple is billing the second season as a 5-day, week-long event. That 5-day week begins on Monday, the 22nd of May. No trailer for Season 2 yet. You can, of course, catch the first season now on Apple TV+. And finally today, you know what's annoying? When you watch something you think you will have no interest in and come dangerously close to getting hooked. For example, I watched the Nashville SC versus NYC SC MLS soccer match last Saturday. Just wanted to see how Apple was going to do. Now I want to see how Nashville is going to do. I'm not signing up for MLS Season Pass. Yet. I checked out the latest Apple TV Plus trailer with the same sort of reluctance. I'm not a fan of pro wrestling, so what are the chances that I would be interested in a reality show about a bunch of people who want to be pro wrestlers and the guy who teaches them? Then I watched the trailer. Apple TV Plus issued a press release Thursday announcing Monster Factory. According to the release, Monster Factory is the story of misfit dreamers at a wrestling school on the outskirts of a gritty New Jersey factory town who, with the help of their tough yet loving coach, fight for their big break as professional wrestlers. What's annoying about the trailer is they're real people with real dreams, and I care because I am not a robot. Yet. 6 episodes in the docuseries, all 6 of them hit Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 17th of March. You can find out whether you're a robot yet by checking out the trailer. It is available now on YouTube. Today on the Mac Observer's Daily Observations podcast, TMO Managing Editor Jeff Butts and I bring Mailbag Monday back for a second round this week. Email on China, on AirDrop, on passcodes. First, though, the European Commission wants every messaging app to interoperate with every other messaging app. The TDO Duo has thoughts. That is all today on the Daily Observations podcast from the Mac Observer, online at macobserver.com or wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Collide, endpoint security powered by people. Learn more and book a demo today at collide.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.